Hi, we're going to do a spout. I did try to get this camera in a good position here. Just a simple little spout that you can make by simply rolling out a tapered coil. All right. Zoom out a little bit. All right, so it's a tapered coil. And I'm going to trim off both ends. Depends on what size you need. You know, you might have to make quite a few of these to get it to work right. I've been making these for quite a few years, so I am, you know, I've made a lot of them, so it may look easier than it is, but if you make a few of them, you'll get it figured out. Okay, so I just spent some time making a nice, consistent shape, and then I take this here. This is just a paintbrush handle, a wooden paintbrush handle. You could use a wooden dowel even, but I like it being tapered. You could use a plastic. You could take one of the handles off of your paintbrushes temporarily, or just leave the paintbrush on there. I don't like to leave that on there because it gets in the way. So then I slowly pierce it like this, okay? Trying to keep it as straight as possible and down the center. You're just going to rotate it until it gets through. Okay, I'll put my finger here on the end until I feel it come through, and I just try to keep it down the middle. It's not easy, you know. You just have to probably mess a few up here, all right? So then I got that through. See how it comes through the other side, like that. And then I'll take and trim that off, you know, and see if it's centered enough. If it's really off center, you could do it again, but that's not bad. And that's what that side looks like. So the wider end is going to be the part that attaches to your pot, and that's going to be the other one. So now I'll just start rolling that out a little bit. I don't want to push too hard. Just smoothing it out because I kind of messed up the surface putting that dowel through. Now I'm just going to push here on this end of the paintbrush handle or dowel and then roll it open. And it slowly opens up this wider end, making it wider like that. So that's what this end looks like, and this is this end. I don't want to make this one. I don't think I want to make that one any wider. You know, it's got a nice clear opening. It's not too small. Attaching these, you just need to let it set up for a while. If it's coming off of the side of a teapot, say, all right, and say the teapot is, you know, I'm going to actually grab one of my teapots. So this one, it's coming off the side. Now this is a much wider piece, but you know, you can see if I'm gonna put this on there, I'm gonna have to make a cut, you know, draw an imaginary line there and then cut that to fit. I would, you know, you wouldn't want to do it when it's really wet. Clay doesn't cut very well when it's really wet. You'd let this sit aside for a few hours, like this one here. Alright, so this one's set up nice, and I'm going to take and cut this. It's still nice and soft, but it's not goopy and wet. But it's still soft enough that I can kind of manipulate the clay a little. This has been sitting around for a couple hours. It just depends on the humidity. And we've got high humidity today, so it does take a little bit more time. So I do like to manipulate this a little bit. So when it comes off of the pot, it doesn't look so stiff. You know, it has a little bit of life to it. You know, and then you'd slip and score like usual. Make an opening. You need to keep this substantial. You don't want this to be skimpy and thin, so you don't have anything to hold it onto the clay. Let's just say that this is your pot. Well, you know, that right now doesn't look right. It's coming off too straight, I think. So what I would do then is maybe cut a little bit more off here. And then I'm gonna open that up a little bit. You know, I think that's better. Obviously this is not a pot, but it's giving me some reference to how it can come off of that piece. You know, and then I'd cut a hole in my pot, slip and score, and then attach that. And when you attach this, don't be so worried about where the seam is. You know, it's not that big a deal. Seams are not bad, and I've been trying to emphasize that from the beginning with the pinch pots and the handles. And so when I get this attached, obviously this is a ridiculous example because this is not a pot, but I'm giving you, you know, if you want to smooth it out a little bit, you know, go right ahead if you want. We've got those rubber tip smoothing tools that I've given you guys in your kit. You can go in there and clean up the seams with that. You can use a sponge, you know, whatever you'd like. But that's pretty simple, basic spout. I like to push from the inside and the outside and really make sure that that's attached well. All right, good luck. Let me know if you need any help.